what's going on, guys? This is Jared Klassen with Upscale Detail Co., and we have a special guest on the show today. And I believe this is episode 14. We have Mia Mans, and she is just a killer in the space of real estate. And, I've been following her journey for a while now. We're Facebook friends, Instagram
Yes.
friends, and, really, I just wanted to bring you on the show because, you give a lot of value to people that I can
Thank
see on
you.
social media.
Thank you.
And the biggest thing I wanted to ask you is, why did you get into real estate? And who do you work for? I believe you said Caldwell Banker, but kind of just tell us about your story, how you got into the space, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. So I kind of fell into it. It wasn't something I went into intentionally, like most people say, I'm going to go into real estate. That's my passion. I was in nursing and everyone kept saying, you should be in real estate. And I was like, why do people keep saying that? And I just have a belief that if I hear things in threes, that, that's a message for me. So I heard
From
three.
a bigger being?
Yes. So I heard three different people, three different times. And so I said, well, I kind of half-heartedly went into it. I said, okay, I'll go take the course. I took the course. And I was like, okay, if I pass, I'll go take the state exam. And I did. But I kind of was half in, half out. I was still doing nursing, still doing real estate. And so I said, well, if I'm going to be effective and efficient in real estate, I'm going to have to let one thing go. So I had to have another talk with the Lord. And I said, if this is what you want me to do, then I need X, Y, Z to happen. And so I prayed about it, and then XYZ happened, and my family almost flipped their lid when I let my nursing license go. And I was like, nope, this is the direction I need to go in. And I haven't looked back. I've loved the journey that I've been on.
That's fantastic. And, I kind of had the same similar story with the Army. Like, my biggest thing was wanting to go to Ranger School. And every time I tried to go to Ranger School, God would just put a roadblock up. And I solely believe in my heart that professional detailing is my calling.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that, you found your passion. My wife's a nurse too, so I know the stresses that job entails. It is not for the faint of heart.
Nope.
And I really appreciate doing that for the community, and also going into the real estate, which is hugely impactful for the community of Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah.
So as you went through your journey, let's say year 2 or 3, once you got your feet wet and stuff, what would you say that, really made you successful in this space, and why?
I would say learning about a home. I mean, you have to know the product, just like with detailing, you have to know the product that you're dealing with. Some people come into it and they may have the impression it's just, let me open the door, let me show you a bedroom, let me show you a bathroom. I think everyone is smart enough to know what a bedroom and a bathroom, what it looks like. So what I mean, how does the house function? What is, what type of water heater? I'm in the attic, I'm looking, I'm making sure that the house, not as an inspector, but hey, you may want to get this looked at. I want to tell them about their foliage in their yard. I want to be able to tell them, hey, your fascia, you see that? You have some peel and paint on there. You keep an eye on that. So I'm telling them the things that a novice wouldn't know about a home. So I want to create value and also have vendors. If something is not right, how can we fix it? I want to be their one-stop shop. I don't want them to have to worry about anything.
And that's awesome. And, like I told you earlier, like my aunt's in the real estate space, and that is what's made her successful. But also, you might know this too, speed is key in this industry. Like,
yes.
Like bidding wars happen. So
yes.
the realtor that gets the paperwork the fastest wins the battle. Most of the time.
Yes.
And can you kind of explain what that process is like? And, because I know there's a lot of things you have to go through, like brokerage companies, etc.
Systems. If you don't have a couple of systems in place, you're going to fail. So I'm a very systematic person. I guess it started, in the military with nursing. So I've always had systems in place. So if someone is ready, I'm ready. Even my clients that are not here, I deal with a lot of military that buy, they may be in Hawaii. I'm in the houses with FaceTime. I'm showing them the houses. So if they're ready to go, I already have everything queued up. So it's just
That's awesome.
sending them the paper through, our automatic system where they could sign electronically so they don't miss out.
Yep. And having, I believe, over 14 entrepreneurs on this podcast show, the biggest thing that I see that most successful entrepreneurs do is they have systems. So if you guys are watching this, like if you're in a business and you don't have systems, you don't have processes, you need to start doing it. Everything has to be a systematic approach.
You have to reply. They're looking for speed, like you said.
Speed is key. Speed wins the war.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Like my wife gets mad at me because sometimes I reply to people at 11 o'clock at night. But that's just customer service,
Yeah.
So there's got to be sacrifices. But I know that like during COVID, real estate was really, really good. It's probably the best it's ever been in 50, 60 years.
Yes.
So moving forward with new homes coming on the market, what advice could you give, our audience on how to overcome high interest rates right now? Because that is kind of scary, but there, you were talking earlier, there are ways.
Yeah, but I kind of cringe when you say it high because they're not high. It's corrected itself. The market has corrected itself. We went to an all-time low.
Yep.
And so during the pandemic, so the government needed to encourage buyers to purchase homes by decreasing the rate. But you have to think the rates are 6%, 7%. That's not unheard of. I mean,
no, and like in the 1970s, people were paying like 13, 14%.
Exactly. So high, I wouldn't say is the word. It's correcting itself, and we are going to see more decrease in the rates. But I would tell people, if you're going to buy, be a prepared buyer. Just in case the seller is not willing or is able to give you closing costs. Have your closing costs money. Have your home inspection money. If you're buying a resale, you may want to have a home warranty. Have your little nest egg ready so you prepare, because that makes your offer more valuable. So if someone needs something from a seller and someone doesn't, what do you think the seller is going to take? They're going to take the offer that someone doesn't need anything.
I bought 2 homes now, and I'm really big on the 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage, back-end fence. Certain criteria is the water heater new, is the roof new. Unfortunately, the deal was just too good with the one I got, so eventually the roof will get replaced, and the water heater. I'm not worried about that. But what advice could you give somebody, like you said, how much money, like for example, a 3-bed, 2-bath, I think the average right now is around $230,000. Is that correct?
No.
No? Okay, my bad.
It's about $274,000.
$274,000. Okay, so how much money does somebody need to be saved if they're a first-time home buyer?
That's also kind of a loaded question, because this location is going to give you the variance in your price point. So I would say if you're a first-time home buyer, putting you in the mid-range, I would say try to have at least $7,000.
$7,000.
I would say $7,000.
Yeah, and that all depends on your lifestyle, how you save that money. But I think the best investment that you can ever have in your life is buying real estate.
Yes, of course.
Because I'll give you, I'm just going to be real and raw right now. Like I bought my place for $171,000. That property is valued at $230,000 right now. And that's without me including the rehabs that I've done to it myself.
Yes.
So what does that mean? There's home equity in the house, which I could take that home equity out and go buy another property, which I will do eventually for our next real estate venture. So
it is. It's the best investment. That's why it's called the American dream. It's to have a home, to have that pride of home ownership, to have that investment, to have a legacy or a home that you could send down to your family, to your children. It's something that I feel like it's almost invaluable.
Yeah, and a huge inspiration for me because, like I told you earlier, like the detailing industry is kind of why I got into. Oh, the reason I got into detailing is to help be a funding company for my real estate venture.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
am. I don't know. I've just seen my mom, so kind of background about myself. My parents divorced when I was 12 years old, and we had nothing. I came from a rich family, and then my dad just abandoned us. And I had to step up as a man of the house, and I had to literally provide for my mom while she was going through getting her relicense for a dental hygienist. And I literally had $1,500 saved, and I gave that to her so we could afford first month's rent. And I saw my mom. My mom is such an inspiration to me. She took her money that she had earned, and she bought my stepdad's old mom's place, and she completely gutted it. My stepdad is a freaking master at remodeling. Like, he'll literally buy a terrible house and just completely gut it, make it beautiful.
Yeah.
He's gifted.
Yeah.
And she owns 6 properties now.
Nice.
And she's done that in,
Nice.
I believe, 13 years. And
Nice.
there's only one that's not paid.
That's a blessing.
It's a
That's a
blessing,
blessing.
and it shows me that, with hard work and determination, and my mom's my motivation, that you can do anything. And that's what I remind myself when, I'm struggling in my business or stuff like that, because it is real.
It's sacrifice. Everything that's worth having, it's a little sacrifice that you have to make, and discipline. Is discipline and sacrifice. I mean, a lot of people say, I want to do this, I want to do that, but are you willing to give up, maybe like to save for a house, maybe not going out every week? Maybe it's once a month. Maybe it's getting up a little earlier, to work on your projects, to finish your home that you have to do before you go to work. I mean, there's going to be some discipline and there's going to be some sacrifice, but when it's done, it's worth it. You have that fulfillment that you did it and that accomplishment. And then it makes me feel warm just thinking about even some of my clients that I know that had to really sacrifice, the single parents or the people that had to really grind it out to make it happen.
Yeah, and I kind of fell off for a while, just because, like, saving money. I was religious about it, but I had to provide for sending my wife to nursing school and all that. So all the expenses went to childcare because I was a company commander. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You came from a military family, but we're back on track saving money, and I found the best way that I save money, and it might be for just everybody else. I kind of use the Dave Ramsey theory.
Yes.
I literally put cash. I pull out cash every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And we've been able to save so much money in the last 6 months. Super grateful.
That is a discipline above discipline type method.
And it comes down to being disciplined. And
yes.
Any entrepreneur that comes on the show, their key thing is, how disciplined are you? Your habits are what create discipline. Discipline creates habits. I'm very religious. Like, I work out 5 times a week because, and I'm a Christian guy. I go to Cascade Hills, and Pastor Brent was talking about, if you are not aligned spiritually and you are not aligned physically, your cup will be empty. And every time that I'm not performing well as an entrepreneur, it's because I'm not filled spiritually. And I mean, I don't know if you've had, I'm sure you've had your ups and downs in your business. Like, what would you say has helped you get through those hard times?
My faith, and just, I wouldn't be transparent if I didn't say that there were times I wanted to give up. I'm a human. Yeah. So there were times where things weren't going well. I think one of my lowest points where I just had 5 deals just crash. I mean, it was brutal. And it was more brutal, I felt, for my clients that I had let them down. And it was nothing that we could do about the situations. It was just situations in life that happened. and I wanted to give up, and I just had to have another talk with the Lord about if are you trying to tell me to get out or do I just need to stick with it and be steadfast and increase my faith in this thing? And so I just had to have increase my faith walk is what I had to do.
And I think that's so true. And the biggest thing that I struggled with as a Christian for the longest time is ask and you shall receive. I don't know. I felt like guilty asking God for things, but lately I've been focusing on asking God to provide, and He has, and I'm very grateful for that. And the team that we've created at Upscale Detail Co. and it all comes down to that. Like what would you say has made your business successful? Like with. Is it the people around you? Is it the team that you're involved with? Is it the systems? What is it? Or is it multiple things?
I would have to give credit to my clients
Yes.
because they refer so many people back to me. So almost 90% of my business comes from my past clients. So I service them well, and in return, they send clients to me. The same with your job. If you do a good job, someone's going to tell someone about it. So I always want to exceed their expectations, and I pray they send someone. If they don't, that's fine. But so I would say is servicing my clients well, meeting or exceeding their needs, and having my systems in place, being methodical about the goals and things that I want to accomplish. And don't be discouraged. Don't get deterred. Don't get off track. Just keep going. Sometimes you hit a brick wall, but you sit in it for a minute and then you dust yourself off and you get back in the fight.
Yeah, and I was having this conversation with one of my mentors. These hands, you're gonna mess up one day, and the key thing is owning your mess up and taking ownership of it, and saying, hey, I messed up. I'm human. I'll fix it. And I don't care who you are, you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
That's business.
Yeah, it's falling on the sword. Sometimes you got to
Yeah.
fall on the sword.
Yeah, but the thing is the key thing is are you learning from your mistakes? Are you getting better? Are the services that you are giving your clients, is it a good product? And if it's not a good product, get rid of it. Because your clients deserve the best.
Absolutely.
Now, kind of going into projection with your career or your entrepreneurship, where do you see your business in 2 years?
I see myself, I really like to kind of keep my goals a little close, but I do see some growth in my business, and I also want to, I always like to give back. So for me, growing, it means also that I can do the other things that I enjoy doing. I love House of Heroes, because I'm a military veteran. So I like to give back. I love our Operation Make Christmas Happen.
We love House of Heroes.
Yes.
When I was a commander at Airborne School, we had them for a lot of events. Another charity that we are working with is Hope Harbor.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I don't know if you've seen the videos kind of gone viral on Only Columbus, Georgia, but we're doing a car show April 27th. It's going to be huge. I mean, we already got 25 people that have signed up, 6 businesses that are helping with that cause. And the reason that I believe in Hope Harbor is because, of my past. I didn't, my mom was the only person that really was my resource for that tough time, So I think it's super, super important that, people have those resources and, and a lot of people just don't know that there are those resources out there that, hey, you can go to a safe place.
Right.
If you're experiencing domestic violence. And, kudos to the men and women and the children that have experienced that. And the biggest thing I could say to overcome that is having resources, and having the right people in your life to uplift you. So, and of course, God.
Yeah.
So, so you see your business.
growing so I could do more. So I always say, Lord, bless me so I can let me be the biggest giver.
And that's such an awesome thing. And I've dropped this knowledge before. Alex Hermosi, he's an entrepreneur, big time entrepreneur. He talks about giving value back, and that is one thing that I will always do in my business. I always do my best for the community, because without the community, my business is nothing.
Same.
And our customers, this, our customers are our lifeline. They what pay our bills. They what provide for our family, and it's super important that we take a certain percentage of our earnings and we give back to the community.
Give back. I don't I hate to say this, but I really have a problem because some people say, "Oh, I love the community. I love the community," and then I'll say, "Well, what are you doing?" And they're like, "Well, I feel like you're almost a thief because you get so much from the community. Yep. This business allows us to have the lifestyle that we like, to travel, to do things. So I feel like it's an obligation, it's my passion to give back. I want to give back. It's not something that, I just try to hold everything for myself. So I feel like, the saying, open hand, you give and you receive, but if it's closed, you get neither. So
absolutely. And, that's the one thing that I always tell our team: as I grow, you will grow. And same with the community: as I grow, the community will grow. And it's just super crucial that you have that mindset with the community. And, we're both not from here.
Implants.
But the one thing I want to say to our audience is thank you, Columbus. Like, you guys have been so supportive of my business.
Yes.
We wouldn't be in this new facility without you. We took a leap of faith a year ago, and you guys have just, I'm just blessed. So thank you. Does the audience have any questions for Mia at this time?
Going through it now. So far, it's not looking like it.
Okay.
I've pinned a questionnaire, though, so people can ask questions.
Kind of last question. You kind of hit on that. Do you do any more community service than Home of Heroes, or
the House of Heroes? I do.
House of Heroes. My bad.
Operation Make Christmas Happen,
Okay.
because I work on both sides. So I wanted to have a charity that I do for Georgia and also one for Alabama, which kind of hits on what you said. So Operation Make Christmas Happen, what it does is for the East Alabama Board of Realtors, it goes through the advocacy programs.
Okay.
So we know that the people that we service are legitimate.
Yep.
And so what we do, and it is very we get involved, but we don't meet the children. We don't meet like the battered women's shelters or anything like that. So it really is about the service. So we're running around, we're raising. When I call people, they know, oh my gosh, Mia wants some money. Because I do, because it's such a passion for me. So we're trying to raise money for the children, and their needs are not like other children's needs. There's not, half of the time it's not a toy. It's like, I need socks, I need shoes, I need food. So it's very personal, because I feel like, man, if that's what you want for Christmas, can we just make that happen? And can we do it in a way that's beyond their expectation? And I want it to be grand. I don't want it, I have this thing, we're not going to Dollar General, because generally that's where they have to go, or the dollar store. And I'm not knocking those facilities. I'm just saying, let's bring it up a level. Let's give them something really nice that's gonna put a little smile on their face. Can you just imagine someone just saying to you, I just need sheets for Christmas? That is heart-wrenching to me. So I make it my goal to call and try to raise funds for that every single year. And there's other ones, but those are my two biggest ones that I make sure that I'm very active. I know when I went to House of Heroes, I just walked in the door one day and I said, I want to donate. And I think she thought, Susan, who's over there, she thought I was like a little toot toot, because no one just ever just walks in there and just say, hey, I'm going to be a donor for this cause. And she's like, okay, well, no, I don't want anything. I just want to donate
Just being a
because
good human
I'm a
being.
veteran. My husband's a veteran. I have 2 children that serve in the military. So obviously this is something that's very important to me.
It is, and when I was a commander, we actually went out to, I believe, 2 people's facilities and helped repaint their. There's a lot of people that are veterans that they don't have the capabilities of doing that because they don't have the funds,
And the widows. It's the
and
widows.
the widows too. Like the lady that we did paint her house and kind of refurbished her outside, she was a widow, and like that was a very humbling experience. So if you're on this live feed, man, like do what you can to help your community, and it's super important.
Yeah, there's nothing that's like too small, because I think sometimes people get wrapped up into, well, I don't have $1,000 to give, but everything helps. I mean, there's projects. Susan constantly has projects on that board. So if you can't, give a monetary gift, you can go and donate time.
Yeah.
You could do anything.
It doesn't have to be monetary. It could be like what we're doing, like hosting an event. But that in return is bringing a ton of people into the event, which there's the car show fee and stuff like that. So you're actually giving back.
Yes.
It's just being creative in the way that you want to help.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyways, is there one word that you could give to our audience that would be a lasting impression? I know that wasn't in the script, but I always like to ask that question sometimes to our audience.
Integrity. I always say, in whatever you do, have integrity.
Yep, super important.
That's the one word.
And integrity is one of the things in the Army that we focused on, and sometimes you have to tell the truth and it really sucks, but at the end of the day, if you do you can look yourself in the mirror and move on.
The truth can never be wrong.
It can. Well, Mia, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate it.
It was an outstanding to have you on here.
Thank you.
How can people get in contact with you?
My number is 706-464-8927. I'm on Instagram. I have a business Facebook page. I have a personal Facebook page. My Instagram is move_with_Mia, move with Mia, like the hat. And then my business page is Mia Mans with Coldwell Banker, Ken & Parker, Duncan and Davis. And then my personal page is just Mia Mans.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys. If you guys want to be on the podcast and you're an entrepreneur, give us a call at 706-705-7335, and we can host you on the show. You'll go live on Only Columbus, Georgia, and then additionally, you'll get a professional video made by our videographer, Thomas Sherrill.
Yay. I like the way he
Have a
waved
good
in the
one, guys.
background.